And ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast. It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. We are so glad you joined us here on Motor Racing Network. Aaron Evernham and Steve Post, our favorite time of the week. And thank you for joining us. Great program for you coming up. Sheldon Haudenschild going to join us after another win. Third win of the season and his World of Outlaw third career win. And we're going to talk to Barry Jackson. He's the general manager over at CJB Racing, the guy that runs the ship. Want to talk about being parked in California for so long with little racing and some safety initiatives and everything else. So a great program for you. Thanks for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation. And that is the upcoming guest list presented by Sage Fruit here on our program. As I mentioned, Aaron Evernham is alongside. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Breaking news here on Breaking News on a Tuesday. And I'm not sure that I'm really shocked at it, but I am saddened by it. Just got a press release that the crowd pleaser will be pleasing crowds no more. Craig Delansky has formally announced his retirement.
Yeah, he had a rough stretch. He had some injuries, I think even back when he ran the Infinity Pro Series years ago at Indy. And then a few sprint car injuries, head injury, a number of things. And I think he had discussed with us Lyme disease.
Yes, exactly.
So, I was kind of surprised, but like you said, not terribly surprised about the release.
We hadn't seen him in a race car for some time, and so it's kind of been quiet and wondering what's going on the Craig Delansky front. And we got the word officially that Craig Delansky is going to be retired. So saddened by that. He's one of the real stalwarts, one of the real mainstays of the sport during its heyday. Yeah, he's not one of the young guns anymore, but man, and that is one badass race car driver.
He was.
I mean, I tell you what,
he earned that nickname.
Yes, he did. Yeah. No doubt about it. So we certainly wish Craig the best, and maybe we need to dial him up and talk to him here in the next couple of weeks and see how retirement is going along the way. We have talked a lot this year about the World of Outlaws growing and growing and growing. And I think with that growing comes growing pains for some of the teams. When you're sitting there, you're one of those teams that find yourself in the teens. You're like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? And 2 more are jumping in, and another one's jumping in. And Destiny Motorsports, Parker Price Miller's team, they are going to jump to the All-Stars.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad move at all.
No, I don't think so. It's a great way to still have really tough competition, but keep your budget maybe a little bit less of a budget, and get experience.
Exactly, and the team is based in Indianapolis. So the All-Star schedule is far nicer as far as that goes. So Rick Rogers has done an amazing job with this team in coming in and investing in it. And it's got to be just a heart-wrenching decision to take a step, what you would consider backward, but sometimes that step backward is a huge step forward. And I think it may be the case with the Destiny team. Sad news out of Mercer Speedway in Pennsylvania. You know, Pennsylvania's had Lernerville and Mercer. Mercer is for sale. And unfortunately, weekly racing will no longer be part of the equation, it doesn't look like.
I was kind of heartbroken to read that. That was one of my favorite tracks. I think I still have the track record in the 410 there.
Oh, there we go. See that?
I love that racetrack. That was sad news.
Exactly. So, and finally, the Front Row Challenge. We always talk about T-Mac. It will now be known as the Sage Fruit Front Row Challenge. Our buddies at Sage Fruit are going to step up and sponsor the Front Row Challenge. So there you have some news and notes. Let's take a look at our classic ink and screen printing and embroidery hot topics. So the hot topic is Sheldon Haudenschild. And third win, we're going to talk to him. Man, he is on a tear.
Yeah, they have found something.
Yes, they have. I think they found Sheldon Haudenschild is what they found.
And he found a good equipment.
Yeah, we had some 360 racing. Justin Sanders won the Civil War Series. ASCS Southwest, Gary Taylor. Dale Howard run. USCS, I don't know that they've had a rain out this year.
I know. They're the best shape of anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Harley Zimmerman won the Top Guns at Volusia. And how about this? Not a wing car, but Christopher Bell, off weekend from the Xfinity Series, goes out to I-44 Speedway and swept the Turnpike Challenge for the Power I Midgets.
I don't think there's a big surprise there.
No, there's not a big surprise there, but Christopher Bell, the next weekend off is never. I don't know that there might be a weekend in December when he doesn't have a race. So, but old Seabell, he's not scared to go out and run a midget car along the way. So there you have it, your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery, hot topics, great hats, great T-shirts, hoodies, towels, and a whole lot more, whether it be for your race team or another sports team, your business, or some other social organization. Check them out at www.classicinkusa.com. Let's step away. When we come back, Sheldon Haudenschild, he joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly. If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Shane Stewart, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation. I'm with Steve Post and Aaron Evernham. Evernham. All right, I'll start over. This is Shane Stewart, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com with Steve Post and Aaron Evernham.
How about that? Shane Stewart with a double take there.
Could have just gone with a Crocker. I mean,
well, that's all. See, you're Crocker. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
You're Crocker. I mean, it's like Aaron Crocker rolls right off. This whole Ray Evernham, the whole, I don't know. I guess it's working out all right for you, but, you know, it's just... we still, sprint car fans got to get used to it.
Seriously, they can stick with Crocker.
There we go. All right, there we go. Hey, we need to, your last name may have changed somewhere along the way, but this last name ain't ever going to change. Joining us now, he drives the Stenhouse Junior Marshall racing car. Picked up another win this weekend, this one in Bakersfield. Sheldon Haudenschild joins us on the line. Hello, Sheldon. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, Sheldon, you get the opportunity to drive this year for Ricky Stenhouse, Richard and Jennifer Marshall along the way, and you think, okay, this is going to be pretty good. And I know we're early, and I know there's a lot of racing, but did you think it'd be this good?
Well, I didn't really know what to expect. So, we kind of figured just be top fives and go from there. But to have 3 wins is pretty unbelievable this early in the year. So, definitely everybody's excited, that's for sure.
I'm sure they are. Sheldon, talk a little bit about the race at Bakersfield. Tight track, bull ring. At one point, Brad Sweet spins out right in front of you, and you managed to get by him, but it was like slider after slider. Talk about negotiating traffic during that race.
Yeah, I knew when we showed up there that it was going to be a good race, just how that track was shaped. And I know the weather has been pretty brutal in California, so they did a great job getting us a track that we could race on. So, I missed the dash, and I spun out my heat race and still almost made the dash, but not quite. So we had to start 9th in the feature, and I just got a really good initial start, and I was able to pass guys all over. So my car was really good, and it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed, that's for sure, as we're actually on our video stream watching a little bit of it now, and you celebrating in victory lane, that third career win, third win on the season with the race team and Tyler Swank, your crew chief as well. Sheldon, you talk about sitting out in California in the rain. Last week on the program, we talked about you and Rico building a motocross track and how we really, now of course we're old folks sitting in the studio, you're youngsters out there living life, and we're just sitting around watching you. We didn't necessarily think that was a good idea. How did that ultimately turn out with the motocross track and everything with Rico?
Well, we ended up getting rained on, so we didn't get to finish that. So we didn't do much. Rico kept us pretty busy. We definitely ate some good food, and Rico had Shane at the gym. He had me out riding mountain bikes with him, building the track. So he kept us busy, that was for sure.
Probably a good thing you got the rain. It kept you guys safe and off the track. Sheldon,
yeah, I think Shane was getting a little nervous when we were riding the one day. He said he felt like our dad tell us to calm down.
Oh, that's too funny. We kind of felt the same way when we saw the clips on Instagram. Sheldon, when you look at your season so far and the success you've had, what do you think has really impacted or changed this year? Obviously, it's a new team. You have a year of experience under your belt with the Outlaws, but what is clicking? Is it working with Shane? Is it equipment? Is it you? What do you think are the big factors?
Definitely, I think it's a combination of everything. I think doing it the first year on my own and kind of figuring out the logistics of doing it on my own and just the cost of things and ultimately I think that just tries to make you a little bit better of a racer when you know that you had to pay for it before. So, someone's still paying for this stuff and, just want to do my best to keep it in one piece and try and get it up front for them. So, I think it's a combination of all that. And now with Ricky and Richard and Jennifer, taking a lot of the stress off me, I can now just focus on doing what I need to do on the track instead of, figuring everything out during the week.
Indeed. We talked a little bit about this, and I'm not sure. I think Ricky and I might have talked about it down at Volusia when we were chatting one afternoon and you came rolling in. The adaptation, you were last year team owner, general manager, truck driver, all of the above. You were up at 7 o'clock in the morning planning things out, and you were racing until midnight planning things out. How has the adaptation been to just being a race car driver? I know it's probably been really nice in places, but how well have you adapted to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think pretty good. It's, I think, easier going this way than going the other way from being driver to maybe working on it. But, I wouldn't change it for anything right now. I think what we have going on is really good. And, the guys seem really happy. So, I'm really enjoying myself right now. So we have a long season ahead. So just kind of got to keep it, under ourselves and not get too far ahead of ourselves right now.
Sheldon, I follow you on social media. I know we were talking about your time with Rico, but it seems with the Marshalls, you're getting to do a lot of fun things. I saw some ski pictures or snowboarding, all sorts of fun adventures. But is there part of you as a former team owner that sometimes doesn't like to be away from the car? Is it a little bit of I know we're talking about the adjustment, but I see all these awesome trips, which I'm sure you're not complaining about. But is there a part of you that is having to adjust with that?
Yeah, definitely. It is a little bit different. If you ask my girlfriend, we get to go out and do all this fun stuff, which is really nice. But at the end of the day, I like being by the car. And right now we're at Lake Havasu and just hanging out with the guys and hanging out, in the parking lot while they work. I feel like that's where I like to be and is the most fun for me, just being by the car. So ultimately, that's where I like to be and just hanging out with my guys.
Well, you got some good guys, too. Tyler Swank calling the shots there, doing a great job putting a fast race car under you and bouncing around the country. Are you staying out west, or Easter is off this weekend? Are you coming back home, or are you staying out there?
We're actually just hanging out at Lake Havasu for 2 weeks, so hopefully not getting too much trouble here and just have a good time, just kind of relaxing with our guys here. So not going to make it home, I think, until the May race at Eldora, maybe for a couple days.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Lake Havasu is not roughing it too bad along the way. The glamour portion of it. Sheldon, congratulations on the early season success. We certainly wish you the best as you continue on through the tour. It is going to get more and more racing. We hope it's going to get more and more racing than what you had in March. But we wish you the best, and thanks for the time here on Wing Nation.
Yep. Thank you for having me on.
There we go. Sheldon Haudenschild joining that, driving that Stenhouse Jr. Marshall Racing, the NOS Energy car. Man, what an exclamation point he's put on young drivers and young racing right now.
Absolutely. I mean, talk about one to watch.
It is unreal, and it's so exciting to see him wheel that race car. Great, great stuff. And great stuff for Richard and Jennifer Marshall, great people. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., when you think about Stenhouse, how he's invested a lot of years into this stuff, going back to ASCS and doing some other things. And I know he is really enjoying the success.
Oh, yeah, I know all of them are really enjoying
really
it.
are, man. They're he's having a good time sitting in the motor coach, eating sunflower seeds and watching Sheldon wheel that thing to the victory.
Clearing off the snow
and
from his
Martinsville,
satellite.
exactly, yeah. So great stuff. Great to hear from Sheldon Haudenschild, and always a thrill to chat with him and watch him race. We need to step away. We're going to talk about the other side of the world of racing, the team management side, the maybe not so much fun on the road side, the harder work side maybe on that side. Barry Jackson from CJB Racing, he's going to join us next.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
O'Reilly. If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Terry McCarl, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation. We appreciate T-Mac bringing us back there from the commercial break. We're going to continue talking about the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars. We appreciate Sheldon Haudenschild joining us from the other side of the equation, the non-driver side of the equation. Team manager at CJB Racing, Barry Jackson's on the line. Hello, Barry. Welcome to Wing Nation.
Hi, Steve. How are you today?
We are doing fantastic. First and foremost, California, Pennsylvania. Where do we find you at this morning?
I'm actually in Pennsylvania right now.
Got a chance to head back east after for the Easter weekend, huh?
Yeah, we traveled across from California where we were on Saturday night and drove to Phoenix and took our hauler and equipment over there and found a good place to keep it there. We have a rare weekend off, coming up here. After that, we'll race every weekend, till the end of the year. Now we've had, seems like we haven't been racing very much here with all the rainouts and so forth, but, so we jumped on a plane, did the red eye last night, got back here and do some work in the shop here over the next week and a half, and then head back out and go to Arizona and then get back to Midwest.
Barry, how hard is this whole first part of the season? You go from Florida to California, and you've been there for weeks, only trying to race pretty much on the weekends and have had a lot of rain. How difficult is it to manage that on the road and know your shop is all the way on the other side of the country?
Yeah, the beginning part of the season's difficult, especially if you're a Midwest or a East Coast-based team like we are here. It'd be because there's a lot of things you want to be doing, but it's hard to just get back if you race, say, Friday and Saturday and you want to try to maybe fly back to your shop and everything, you'd have to do that Sunday, so that day's going, then you deal with the jet lag portion of all that a little bit. Yeah. And then you have to turn it right around and get back out there Thursday. So it's hard with our schedule, because when we do get back to our shop and say, here in May when we're back here to run Williams Grove or Lincoln or any of the East Coast races, we're so busy with our racing, it's hard to get stuff done in our shop anyhow. So this would be a nice little, 10-day period where we can actually get something, we're building chassis and so forth here and, for our team in-house. And I got to get some more of that stuff done here while, we got a little break.
Barry, the rain, from the team management, from the team ownership perspective, we've talked to drivers and we've seen drivers out being knuckleheads, building motocross tracks and doing all that stuff. But it has got to be just absolutely frustrating, financially frustrating, time-wise, keeping the guys out of trouble, keeping everyone straight. What are all the challenges when we're not, set aside the West Coast, but then when you're sitting out there not racing?
Yeah, it's hard because we're just programmed to be go go go.
Yeah,
it seems like that our season lasts about a little over 9 months, and it's go go go. And when you have all the rain interruptions and rainouts and so forth that we've had, and the biggest thing is it's hard to plan. You're just not sure, and it's like if you have a rain delay in a ball game or something, it's like getting back ready to go. It's been really hard to get into any type of like game plan or rhythm here, and then you have the whole financial side. We're out there, weeks, for a few weeks, and we're not racing. We have hotel rooms, and there wasn't a lot of. Probably the most difficult part is when you have rainouts is if you travel a long ways and it rains out and you just made a big trip, truck driving trip somewhere and got to turn around and go in a different direction. At least we were kind of parked in one place out there. So that wasn't too bad, but it does present some challenges.
Barry, with the races that you have gotten in, how would you assess your year so far? I mean, coming off an incredible 2017, how would you say you guys are, how do you feel about the team right now?
Well, we got started off, that's one of the things you really got to be on top of. Whenever you do have a year like we had last year, you got to make sure that you keep all the mindsets right and so forth, because it's difficult, and you can't take anything for granted on this tour, because, you may win some races and then, roll into the next one and just get your butt kicked. And you just have to be on it all the time. And I think we were real prepared getting into the season. We went out the first 2 all-star races at Volusia. We ran top 5s. Then the first opening outlaw night, we, got in a crash and destroyed a car, and came back, ran top 5 the next night. We started way back and made a nice charge, ran a top 5. And then the next, it's been really inconsistent. We're definitely not happy with where we're at right now. I made a couple safety changes to roll cages on the cars after Florida. I don't know if that's messing with us a little bit right now. When we get back out to Arizona here in a couple weeks, I'm going to make another assessment of where we're at. That's typically a track where we ran really well, and if we have any issues there, then I'm going to kind of look at everything we've got going on and maybe make a change there. And but no, sitting at the airport the other night, I sent all the guys on the team a text message, and you got to keep it in perspective. You can't let yourself get into a hole and into a rut. Mentally, that's hard to come back out of. So we had a couple times last year. I think we had an 11-race stretch where after Knoxville and the disappointment of what happened to us at the Knoxville Nationals, and we went into a little bit of a slump there. And I think it was 11 races till we won another race. And it's been 8 right now. So we'll be fine. We just need to keep our heads right and keep working.
Breath of fresh air. Barry Jackson joins us here. Barry, final question for you. You mentioned the Volusia crash, and you put out a quite an appeal to the industry down at Volusia in regards to roll cage and safety. I know you're working on it. You said you've actually made some changes to your car. Just in general terms, the reaction from the industry, is it something that there's been progress, there's been a lot of talk about? Is there something that was talked about that day and is kind of forgotten now? How would you assess the reaction at this point from that plea you made during Volusia?
Well, with the experience that I've got in building cars and just the length of time of being around it, I've often felt that the spec that we have on the top of our roll cage is probably not what it should be. And that crash and that hit and so forth proved it. It wasn't inferior workmanship. It wasn't inferior quality of material is just that spec should probably be more than what it is if we're gonna, maintain a high level of safety for these guys. And to your question, there was a lot of initial communication and so forth regarding that, and a few things have came along that you can do this, but really it should be mandates. We can make some changes that aren't very costly, and guys, and especially here at this time of year when it's not that busy, things could have been done, and I did it, but it's hard to and that's something that we have to look at right now. Did we all of a sudden get to where we're at a little bit of a disadvantage the way my car might be flexing the way, as opposed to the way I want it to? If it's something where everybody has to have cages of, certain, designs and so forth, it's just going to be an ongoing thing. And I hope that, all the people that need to make decisions and so forth stay on this. But I don't think really enough's been done yet.
Indeed. It's a challenge. It really is. And I appreciate you taking the lead on that and your impassioned plea down there at Volusia. I know you and I talked about it a little bit as well. Barry, we're out of time here. I appreciate you joining us. Get a little rest, get a little work done in the shop, and we'll look forward to you guys getting started back up here in about 10 days. Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Aaron. And thanks for everything you do here. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's Barry Jackson from CJB Motorsports.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
I'm Danny Holcraver, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Thank you, Danny. Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation. I could talk to Barry Jackson all day. He's just a fascinating guy, and I think, and we ran out of time, and I wish. Because on this safety issue, it sounds like he has an idea for a temporary fix, but is it negatively impacting his car with the flexing? I know you and I talked before the show about that.
Same thing.
And that's where the mandating needs to come in. And so what do you do? Yeah. Because if you alter the flexing of your race car, you're impacting your performance, and the racer in you wants the performance. Yeah. And how do we balance that? And that's where the mandating needs to come into play.
And how does everyone adapt to their car, and how expensive is it going to be? There's a lot
for 1,000 sprint cars across America is what you're looking at. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Wednesday birthday. Listen to this. Hank Arnold, 2010 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, a Tucson, Arizona-based racer and engine builder, and he built cars known as the Cherry Bomb, the Party Doll, and Twister. Classic cars, and they just restored the Twister, as a matter of fact, recently. I read that online. He was quite the character, too. He was popular among the kids because before the race, he would give out bubble gum in the 50s. Can you imagine that? Giving out bubble gum in the 50s.
That's nice.
Yes, indeed. So, tragically died in a Manzanita crash in 1967, but Hank's story and all the stories are covered right off from turn number 2 at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, and that will help us get into the upcoming calendar presented by Aggressive Hydraulics, because on Thursday, we're going to talk to Bob Baker from the Sprint Car Hall of Fame on our MRN's Wing Nation weekend presented by Hefner Racing Products. And on Saturday, Chad Kemenaugh joins us on MRN's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. So lots of chatter going on here. And the thing I'm really going to stress is that Sunday we turn the calendar over from soggy March to sunny April.
I like the way you think.
Sunny April, exactly. So we'll see what happens along the way. Two guys that we could talk to all day long, Sheldon Haudenschild and Barry Jackson. We appreciate those gentlemen joining us here. But more important than all of that, we thank you for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.